Hey, welcome to Zville Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain. Today we're going to cover Wildflower by the Cult. Really fun song. We're going to do this in two parts. First part's an intermediate tutorial for you intermediate players, where I'm going to show you all the different chord progressions in each section of the song, then you go ahead and plug it in as you see fit. The second part is going to be a little bit more detailed for you beginners, where I'm going to show you all the different bar chords, where they're on at the neck, a little bit of the strumming pattern, then we'll get into just rocking out with the song. I recommend you watch the intermediate tutorial to get a grip on the song before you jump ahead, but if you do want to jump ahead to the beginner section, you can go to this time code right up here, or you go down in the description area, look for beginner's lessons with the time code, click on that time code, it'll jump ahead in the video for you. Thanks, and let's get right into this. All right, welcome to the intermediate tutorial for Wildflower. Pretty simple song again. I'm just going to show you the parts for each section, and then you could plug it in instead of me counting off how many times it does this or that, right? So to start with, it's out of a B, and in the verse and the opening, it's basically going to do a B to a D to an E. What it sounds to me like they're doing is on the B, they're actually opening up the index finger like that, rather than the pinky and ring like this. Sounds like this. Then when you go up to the D, you use your pinky and ring. And the E, you open up that index finger. One of the other things is during the verse, on the very last time, right before it goes into the chorus, the Wildflower chorus, it sounds like it starts chunking. So it's... just that last round, and it's an overdub, so it's hard to do while you're doing the staccato. You know what I mean? But if you want to try to stick it in there, you can. Wildflower, I love you every hour. So that's the chorus. It switches from going to the D to the E. From the B, it goes to the E and the A instead. So it does that, and then at the end of the chorus, it holds the A right before going into either back into the, before another verse, or right before the lead where it goes to an F sharp. Same thing, since you're 2 frets above, you can go ahead and do that rather than... All right, sounds like it does that 8 times, and then it goes into the B for 4 times, and then it does the dead stop part of the lead. So it does 8 of these, and then it's 4 of these. Bouncing down, 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 bouncing down, 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 bouncing down, down, down. Hope you like my mouth lead there. Basically, it hits the F sharp again for the F sharp again. And then it just plays out the rest of the song. Just follow the patterns as you know them. So go ahead and plug that stuff in. Let's go ahead and get into the beginner section. Hey, welcome to the beginner section of Wildflower by the Cult. So this is a pretty simple song. It's a really fun one for beginners because it's a real rocker too, you know. So please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. We're going to be doing a B bar chord. We're going to be doing a D bar chord. You can also do it up here if you want. I'll show you that. And then it's going to do an E bar chord down here. You also have an A bar chord and an F sharp bar chord. That's in the lead. So let me show you how to do a bar chord to start with. Let's start with the B. That's going to be the hardest one you guys are going to do. The F sharp's kind of tough too. But B, because it's kind of down at the end of the neck, and if you're brand new, you're going to be moving your hand down like this, so it makes it a little tougher. So, do a bar chord. We're going to be on the 5th string only, not 6th string, not only, but not the 6th string. Just the 5th string, 4th, and 3rd. And what you're doing is your index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th, your ring and pinky on the 4th fret of the 4th and the 3rd. And that's your B bar chord. Move it up to the 5th fret on this 5th string, and you've got your D bar chord. 5th fret of your 5th string, 7th fret of your 4th and 3rd. Then you're going to be doing another bar chord that's on the neck rather than an open position. You're also going to be doing a F sharp or a G flat, but we'll call it an F sharp. Same thing as the B, you just move down one string or up one string to the 6th string. 2nd fret of your 6th with your index, 4th fret of your 5th and your 4th with your ring and your pinky. Then you're going to do an E bar chord with your open 6, your index finger barring the 2nd fret of your 5th and your 4th. Then you're also going to do an A where you got your open 5th, and then you've got your index barring your 2nd fret of your 4th and your 3rd. There's little tricks we're going to do with that. Those are the main chords, but if you wanted to try to do the D up instead of doing the D here, you could do it here. That's going to be your regular D chord, but I would say skipping the E string. So basically you're just doing open 4th string for your D, then the 2nd fret of your 3rd with your index and your ring on the 3rd fret of your 2nd with your 3rd. That's all 3 strings then. But I like doing the D up here. So let's get into how to play the song. You're going to start with that B bar chord on your 2nd fret of your 5th string. That's the key the song is out of, is B. So there's 2 tricks we're going to do during this song. One is to lift your index finger off. That's the progression right there. Hit this chord, lift your index finger off, hit it again, and then put your index finger back down for 2. See that pause? Pause. 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 So it's, now you can go up. I think he's hitting upstrokes sometimes. At the very beginning of this song, he wants it really clear because the drums haven't kicked in, the bass hasn't kicked in yet. So he's doing downstrokes, I think. But once the song kicks in, I think he does upstrokes on the last 2 hits. Down, 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 up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Once you get the vibe going, though, you got it. So that's out of the B. Now when you go to the D, it's different, but let me show you something. When you're 2 frets above the root note, you can notice how these 2 are 2 frets apart too. These 2 are 2 frets apart from this, which is 2 frets from the open string. So you can do, it's the same as doing this, but it's different. So what you're doing here, when you lift these 2 off, is you're doing the upper part of the A bar chord. This is the upper part of the B, or here. Depends on how you want to finger it, right? You can't do that anywhere but the 2 away from the open note position, because it won't work here, because you're supposed to be going to a C, like that. Well, you can't do the open string like that, so you got to do it this way. And here, because you're on the open string already, there's nothing to open up on your bass, your root string, root note of the key you're in string. So you got to do it here too. Only here on the 2nd fret can you get away with going. Now that's in all songs, but in this song, this is what they're doing. I think on the B, they're doing. Then when they go up to the D, they change it to lifting these 2 off, and the E, lift that index off. So that is the progression for the verse and the opening. Is B, up to a D, down to an E. Don't go up to that E. Don't go up to the 7th fret. It sounds like they're going to the open one. You could do that D there. Once again, though, you have to go to the you can do this if you want to keep it consistent, but it sounds to me like they're doing that open A note. So that's the verse. Let me show you real quick. See how I did the open D that time? So that's the whole verse. At the very end of the verse, right before it kicks into the chorus, it starts a chunking section. That's an overdub. It makes it really hard to do this clean staccato hits that this song has if you're trying to chunk on that root note. But it would sound something like this if you try to do it live with a single guitar. Now I went around twice, but it actually only goes around once with that chunking before it does the hit and sustain before it kicks into the chorus, which is out of your E. So it's Wildflower. That's where the A comes in. When you go to the chorus, that's the progression for the chorus. B, E, A, B, E, and then right before the lead, it'll sustain the A instead of sustaining the E like you did when you were doing the verse. Wildflower, I love you every hour. Here's where the lead kicks in, right? Now you go to that F sharp we talked about during the chord progression, or the chord instruction area. So it does this for 8 times. Once again, just like the B, because you're 2 away, you don't have to do this. You can get away with doing that open string. do that 8 times, then it goes back up to the B for 4 times. Then right before that open guitar lead part, you do a hit out of the F sharp. So you come from that B back down to the F sharp. Another hit. Back to the B, just like the beginning of the song. That's where you start the next progression. But instead of going to a verse, it just does it, I think, 4 or 8 times. And then it does a pause. Wildflower. It goes into a chorus, and then a E, A, B. See how that I went to the E and the A there because it goes to a chorus. So after the lead, once again, you do 8 of these. 7, 8. Now go up to the B for 4. Up to the B. Wildflower. E, A, and then it goes out to the end of the song. All right, let's take it nice and slow for you beginners, and I'll call out the chords. Ready? Here we go. Start with a B. Up to the D. Down to the E. B. Let's go to the other D this time. D, E, B, other D, E, last one, B, D, hold the E, go to the chorus, wildflower, B, down to the E, A, B, B, E, A, B, E, A, B. Here comes the pause on A. To an E, A. Now go to that F sharp for the lead. Keep on that F sharp for 8. That's 4. 7, 8. Go up to the B. 4 of these. Here's 3. 4. Down to the F sharp for hit. F sharp. Back to the B and 4 more. You got to pause that one there for the break before it comes into the chorus again. Then it goes right back to that B. Down to the E. B. A, B, E, A, E, and then it kind of goes out to the end of the song like that. So that's pretty much it, guys. It's a pretty simple song. It's learning these parts and then listening and having fun playing along with the song and plugging them in. So have fun with it and keep practicing. Hey, so that's it. I hope you guys dug the video, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. Check out another video by going to this link right there. Go ahead and click this link over here to go to our channel, see all our videos and playlists. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.